My father demanded a DNA test for my grandfather's inheritance. My dad always treated me different. While my brothers got new cars for their birthdays, I got a used bike from a garage sale. When I asked why, he said some kids need to learn the value of hard work. My brothers Mike and Danny got their college paid for while I worked 2 jobs and took out loans. Then Grandpa died and left me everything. His cabin by the lake, his savings account with over $200,000, even his old fishing boat. The lawyer said Grandpa updated the will 6 months ago and made sure only I got it all. Dad lost it. He showed up at my apartment at midnight banging on the door. "That inheritance is mine," he screamed. "You're not even my real son. Your mother cheated. Take a DNA test or I will sue you for fraud." I was stunned. Mom passed away 3 years ago, so I couldn't ask her. My brothers started texting, calling me a bastard, saying I should give Dad the money since he raised me anyway. But something felt off. Why would Grandpa leave everything to me if I wasn't really family? So I went through the stuff Grandpa left. In an old tackle box, I found an envelope with my name on it. Inside was a letter from Grandpa, dated 2 months before he died. "Son, I need you to know the truth. Your father has been telling everyone you're not his real kid to explain why he treats you badly. I got suspicious, so I ran a DNA test without telling anyone. I've attached the results. You are 100% his biological son and my grandson." My hands shook as I kept reading. "But I also tested your brothers because something never added up about the timeline. I pulled out 2 more DNA results. Neither Mike nor Danny were Dad's biological kids. Dad had married a woman who was already pregnant with twins and she never told him. She died in childbirth and Dad remarried my mom a year later." Grandpa's letter continued. "Your father projects his shame onto you. He treats you like garbage because you're a reminder he raised 2 boys who aren't his while ignoring his real son. I'm leaving everything to you because you're my only real grandson and you deserve better." I sat there crying, reading his words. He knew everything, and this was his way of making it right. I called a family meeting and brought the lawyer. Dad strutted in confident with my brothers beside him. "Ready to admit the truth," he said smugly. "Just sign the papers transferring everything to me." I let him rant for 5 minutes about Mom's supposed affair, how he was such a good man for raising another man's kid. My brothers nodded along, agreeing with every word. Then I dropped Grandpa's letter and all 3 DNA test results on the table. "The lawyer had verified everything that morning. The only ones here who aren't biologically Dad's are both of you," I said, looking at my brothers. Grandpa knew. That's exactly why he left everything to me, his only actual grandson. My brothers' faces went white. Mike grabbed the papers while Danny sat frozen. Dad snatched the results from Mike's hands, shaking. "This is fake," he stammered. "You paid someone to make this up." The lawyer spoke calmly. "Every document is legitimate, certified, and legally binding. Your father had these tests done at an accredited lab. There's also more you should know. Your father had been putting money in a separate education fund for these 2 for years. Now that fund reverts back to the estate, which means to your brother here. Turns out Grandpa had been paying for my brother's private schools, their college funds, even their car payments separately for years out of kindness. He did it to help Dad out financially. Now that money stopped and Dad had to figure out how to pay back the personal loans he took out expecting to inherit everything and pay them off. Dad had refinanced his house betting on that inheritance coming through. He owed $80,000 due in 90 days. My brothers both had credit card debt they'd racked up assuming their trust funds would cover it all. I stood up and looked at Dad directly. "You spent my whole life telling me I wasn't good enough, that I didn't belong in this family. Turns out you were talking about yourself the entire time." Then I walked out of that office. I kept the cabin, sold the boat, and used some of the money to pay off my student loans. The rest I invested exactly like Grandpa taught me when I was young. Dad lost his house 4 months later and had to move into a small apartment. My brothers both dropped out of their expensive schools and got regular jobs to pay their debts. And me, I go fishing at Grandpa's cabin every weekend. Sometimes I sit on the dock and thank him for seeing the truth when no one else would.